Hi boys and girls, it's me Butch. My name is Terry David Silvercloud. I'm not native, just sounds that way. I'm 77 years old. I live in Vancouver, British Columbia. Today is Sunday, the 12th of June, 2022. Keep myself busy by working on my painting skills and making videos. So what I want to talk about today is why time travel is not possible. You ready? Here we go. Most of you, many of you, will think of the solar system as a sun sitting out there in space, minding its own business, having a good time with the planets revolving around it, orbiting around it in circles or ellipses. But in actuality, that's not what's going on. The solar system is part of the Milky Way, and the Milky Way is part of an even larger group of galaxies. And between all of them, onto ourselves, we're traveling in excess of 500,000 or 600,000 kilometers or even miles, if you wish, per hour through space. We're going through space really, really, really fast. So the actual path of Earth through space is a helical wave. It's about 7 billion kilometers long, and that is the wavelength for 1 year. How long it takes for Earth to get back relative to the Sun, where it was 365 and a quarter days earlier. And all the planets are doing that. They're flying with their south poles forward. I know if you look at the outer planets, they look really extremely tilted towards the Sun, but their net path, where they've got their compass steered, is where their south pole is, and they're trying desperately to get down the same hole that the Sun is trying to get down as it traverses its way towards the black hole at the center of our galaxy, where we'll get ground back into dark matter and spewed back into space to start the whole thing all over again. Now the point of all this, why I'm going on and on and on, is to get you used to the idea that the Earth does not travel in circles, and it's traveling very fast through space, and it's not going to be anywhere near where it was a year before in space. It's going to be a minimum of 7 billion kilometers away from where it was the year before. So to travel in time, you have to accurately know where the Earth was in relation to all the rest of the universe, or at least within the Milky Way, at a particular time, at a particular spot on Earth, in a particular place, which is pretty much impossible because time itself is just something people made up. Originally we based it on how long a day seemed to be, and today we still use the stars to check our clocks, but we keep most of our time more accurately using atomic clocks, and all of the major superpowers will have their own atomic clocks, and that's because to launch their ballistic missiles, to land accurately, they need to know exactly what time it is. If you were off by a second, that could cause you to miss your target. So time is a really big deal. And the British Navy, The British Navy were the first to get us onto good clocks. They offered a huge cash reward over 100 years ago for an accurate clock that could keep time to a fifth of a second and not gain or lose more than very little time each day, because accurate navigation depends on accurate time. My nose is clogging up on me because of pollen in the air and painkillers and smoke too much pot, possibly. That's what old farts do. So anyhow, what I've got to get through to you is that time is not a place anywhere. It's like, on a tape measure, you can measure a foot or an inch. You can't go to 7 inches or 10 miles. You could go to an airport and hire an airplane and say to the pilot, please take me to 10 miles, and then the pilot would ask you, well, where on the circle 10 miles away from here do you want to be? So things have to be a lot more precise than that. So because time is just a man-made, made-up thing, and we can't possibly calculate to the fraction of a second where anything might be at any particular time in space, time travel is impossible. There's a thing in physics called the Pauli principle. The Pauli principle basically says that, because my nose is plugged, it's hard to say no. No two things that go bump in the night, things that are solids, can be in the same place at the same time. It just can't happen. And if you were traveling back in time and you thought you'd worked it all out, you might find yourself popping out in open space, or inside a tree, inside the earth. You don't want to be even thinking about it. So I go on and on and on, and now that my nose is not being cooperative, thank you very much, nose. I think I'm going to get out of here. I've said enough. I think you got the gist of it all. I hope you were entertained. So it's bye-bye from Butch.